What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for bearing with me as I always fix the autofocus in the beginning of my videos. I appreciate your appreciation of my videos and rants and rambles. And I want to talk about psychedelics here and the one thing that almost every psychedelic trip will do. And that one thing is psychedelics dissolve all boundaries. They dissolve boundaries between man, woman. They dissolve boundaries between human and nature. They dissolve boundaries between human and other animals. They dissolve the boundaries between planes of existence, which I want to talk about here. We'll talk about planes of existence. They dissolve boundaries between civilization and wilderness. They dissolve boundaries between matter and non-matter, between energy and physical matter, which physical matter is just energy vibrating at a slow rate. Really, it dissolves all boundaries essentially, right? It dissolves the ego. It dissolves the mind. The mind is the one thing that's creating all the separation. And psychedelics, doesn't matter who's doing them, however you interpret the experience, but what's going on, what really is going on is boundaries are being dissolved. And people who have bad trips are not ready to have all these boundaries dissolve in front of them. And people who can handle it well tend to sort of already be in that thought process anyway of less boundaries, right? And it also dissolves the boundary between good and evil. It dissolves dualism essentially. And you start to see everything in terms of oneness and in terms of a whole. And you think in terms of a whole, and you think of yourself as part of the whole, and you think of everything as one thing, you look at everything as one organism, essentially, really. So, what I want to talk about specifically here is the boundary dissolution that happens on psychedelics of planes of existence. Now, I've been studying some esoteric work, and for you guys who don't know what esotericism is, I know I mispronounced it, but I don't give a fuck. It's basically just mystical schools of thought, right? That came about, alchemists and people who experimented with magic, and really just people who were interested in spirit world and other worlds and other planes of existence. And what I'm reading online, again, we all know how trustworthy the internet is, okay? But I've sort of read this from several sources, so I thought maybe I'll share it here. There are 7 planes of existence. Now, I read more and more resources. There's a lot of disagreements. So what I'm about to say here is this complete fucking horseshit, most likely. But it's just, again, it's nice just for context, just for fucking around, just for philosophy's sake, just for entertainment's sake, right? And those 7 planes, the first plane is the plane where it's non-organic. That's non-organic matter. That's basically crystals, that's rock, that's soil, that's the crust of the earth, right? Non-organic. So like, most of the stuff here I have in my room, you can say it's non-organic. A lot of it is. And then the second plane of existence, that's the organic plane. That's carbon matter. That's plants, that's trees, that's fungus, and things that grow out of the earth. That would be your second plane. Third plane of existence is the plane of where animals reside, and that's the illusion that we're in. That's the Maya that we're in. That's physical matter reality, quote unquote physical matter reality. Physical matter reality is just a playground where we manifest non-physical things into physical things, and we play out the drama of our lives. We play out the emotions. It's a playground. It's a playground. It's an illusion. It doesn't really exist. But it's just a playground. And you come here to play, and you come here to evolve your consciousness. Think of it like a school. Fourth plane of existence is the plane we go to when we die. And that's when we get healing, some healing if we need to, if we've experienced a lot of trauma in the previous life. And then we get ready to come back again and incarnate again to keep leveling up in this game of whatever, evolving your consciousness, the game of enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. And then the fifth plane of existence, I mean, you hear a lot of woo people talking about ascension to the fifth dimension, right? That's the astral plane, and that's, again, from the very trustworthy resource of the internet. That's where angels exist, demons exist, spirits exist, if you will. The enlightened masters like Jesus and Buddha and all these guys, right, that came in, the prophets and the messengers, etc., that came in with the Christ consciousness and preached the Christ consciousness. That's the astral plane, and that's kind of where we go to when we dream and when we have an out-of-body experience. And then the sixth one is where all the laws of creation are, and there's like billions of them, karma being one of them, cause and effect. Karma is just cause and effect. The seventh one that's where everything originated from, and that's the highest one, and that's where everything really, as above so below, that's the highest one. That's the pure awareness, that's the pure God consciousness. It just is what it is. It's love, it's light, it's awareness, it's nothingness, it's all knowing, all powerful. And so to bring it back here, right, because I mean, I thought this video, you're probably thinking, Saeed, I thought this video was about psychedelics, bro. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? You're fucking rambling about planes of existence and shit. Well, to go back now, right? Psychedelics, now, whether that hierarchy is right or wrong, who cares? But I can tell you something from experience here. The psychedelics dissolve the boundaries between these planes, make you realize you're living simultaneously on all these planes at the same time. You're on all of them together at the same time. You're right now, I am living simultaneously on all these planes. And so your higher self would be on the fifth plane. Or so the internet says. And psychedelics completely dissolve that. So this is why I was able to have an out-of-body experience in one of my psychedelic trips. It was just like fucking easy to just tune my frequency, my consciousness frequency, into the astral plane and go there. And I encountered like very benevolent light beings and entities. And I've also, right before that, I went to that place, that fourth plane of existence where we go after we die. And then from there, I was able to even go and be in the astral plane. And it honestly all happened simultaneously. Like, it's hard for me to explain this because really time wasn't there. I don't know how else to explain it. Just time wasn't really there. And so I had an out-of-body experience. Went on a mental trip to these planes of existence. And even beyond that, and this is really what it comes down to, that experience of oneness, that experience of love. And I said how in one of my trips, I sat down and I kept writing love, 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 love on a piece of paper. Love, 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 love. All is love. I am love. It's all love, love, love. And I kept writing love like a maniac. Love, 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 love. And I was ecstatic, pure joy, pure awareness, pure energy. And right there and then, using these psychedelics, I was able to access the highest plane of them all, in which all the planes originate from. That is the all. In esoteric practices, they call it the all, the mind, the is. In the Tao, it is. It just is. It is what it is. And at the same time of being able to access that ineffable experience of just pure awareness, pure love. And usually for that for me to happen, it would need to be a fucking high dose. It would need to be like 4 grams, 5 grams, 6 grams for me to really, 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 really feel that, just be it. It's not, I don't know how to describe it, man. I really don't. It's just, it's undescribable, but you know it in that moment. It is. You just know it is. This is it. It is. And at the same time, I was able to have like out-of-body experience. I was able to go to the place beyond where we go when we die. And really, there were no boundaries between this plane of existence and other planes of existence. Now, for a fucking dumbass like me, I need to use psychedelics. And hopefully, as I continue to work on myself and, you know, whatever, elevating my consciousness, blah, 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 all this bullshit, maybe I can start to be able to do these things maybe without the use of psychedelics. And that's where meditation comes in. Now, the interesting thing is some people out there are able to fucking shift from one dimension to another or plane of existence to another at will. And at will. Their consciousness is able to tune into these different planes, different frequencies simultaneously. And the thing is, we can all do that. Because we right now, I'm living on all planes of existence. Right now speaking, I am. And if I know and learn how to tune myself into the highest one, love, then that's all there is, right? That's the pure awe, pure awareness. And live from that place, then, yeah, I think is there anything more, really? Really, that's the highest. That's all the other planes of existence are just all stemming from that all, that mind, that creator, the pure awareness, the pure love. And that's what psychedelics have opened up my mind to, these planes of existence, to these other dimensions, other planes that exist. And it made me realize they're always there. You're always living in each one of them simultaneously. And there is far more to this than just... In fact, on higher planes, this is the planes of ideas and thoughts, you know, 4th, 5th plane. This, right, like even the house that I'm in right now, was a thought at some point. So actually, even, here's another interesting thing. When we're talking right now I'm just speaking words. Like, what am I doing here? I'm moving my mouth. According to one of you guys, I'm always trying to eat the camera with my mouth. So I'm moving my mouth and I'm using words here. And these words are going into your head and they're making you think a certain way, experience reality a certain way. Well, they're words, they're thoughts, and they're coming from another plane of existence. So right here is the proof that we're always living simultaneously on all planes of existence. The fact that we communicate, that we use language, the fact that we're symbolic linguistic beings and we use language to communicate and get ideas across and think about shit and have an experience with emotions used because of words. That's where we're literally living in, like, as I'm speaking right now, you know, my physical body's here, I'm seeing it, but I'm using words. So right now, simultaneously, by the act of speaking, I'm already in at least 2 dimensions here. I'm in the dimension of physical illusion, which is really just an illusion. And I'm in the dimension of words, which are coming from a different plane of existence. Thoughts and plane. So thoughts, that's another plane of existence, right? Boom. So we're always living we're living in a multi-layered reality, really, like that, you know. And I don't know what it would take to get people to see this. I don't think that you can do anything to get people to see this. I think it's just like Morpheus says to Neo, no, unfortunately, you can't tell anyone about the Matrix. Everybody has to find that for themselves. But that's is where we're at here. We're multidimensional beings. We're eternal beings. We're multidimensional beings, and we're always living on different frequencies and realms and planes of existence and dimensions simultaneously at the same time. And having that realization, the entire enterprise of all the esoteric practices and mystical schools and people who were like to dabble with magic, the number one principle in magic, in Hermeticism, right? As above, so below. And if you understand that this is like one of the lower planes, and that actually everything that happens here is the result of what's going on above, then you have a lot more say in your own life on how you want things to go in this plane of existence. You know, most people are stuck. They don't know how to get things moving in this plane of existence, in this reality. They don't, because they don't see that everything that is happening in here is the result of there. You know, so it's like, of course, you can bypass all the bullshit and just get to the man upstairs, right? The big boss, playing the seventh heaven, the seventh plane of existence, which is oneness, love, awareness, unity. From there on, with that compassion, with that love, you can have things happening better in all planes of existence. Because, I mean, when you're sleeping and you're dreaming, you're definitely in these other planes, these other realities. And if you're always having shitty dreams, again, you know, something needs to be done up there maybe, right? And if you're always having shitty things happen to you in your life, then maybe we're going to reach up there and fix something up there in those planes so that things can happen better here, right? So anyway, I think that's what psychedelics, why I love psychedelics, and they dissolve all boundaries. Really, there's no boundaries. And, you know, it happens for a few hours, but you're going to come back and say, I want more of that shit. And I want to have it more as a lifestyle, because you know you've stumbled upon the truth. From there on, the pursuit of knowledge, the pursuit of experience, the pursuit of enriching experience, enriching knowledge, information, which all of us, you guys watching this clearly are on the pursuit, takes place. And eventually, everything's going to be all right. Eventually, we'll all get there. Eventually, we all become one with God again, if you will. That's it. God bless you all. I love every single one of you guys. You're all amazing, wonderful beings. Don't forget that. You're multidimensional beings too, so don't forget that. As above, so below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes. So subscribe.